Hello and a warm welcome to episode 36 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast, a podcast about all things Hastings United. I'm your host Chris Laverick, and on today's show we've got the magic man himself, Ben Pope. Ben talks his career, coming back from a major injury, and his ambitions. It's a cracking interview. Also on the show we have our usual exclusive from the two-man power trip themselves of Rye the Motty SEGAL and United Women's Supremo, Billy Woods, after our cracking FA Cup victory. And finally we have our fan roundtable, and like last week, it's an interesting listen. Enjoy, Hastings fans. Now over to Hastings hotshot, Ben Pope.
How we doing? All right?
Stop, mate. Thanks, man. We made it happen at last.
Yeah, I know, we got there. Only taken a few weeks. It feels like, anyway.
Just kicking it straight off, man. I mean, it's a busy old time for you. You know, you've got a baby on the way, new house. I mean, it's all happening for you, isn't it? Yeah,
it's all come around very quickly. Adapting to it all and just sort of getting on with it, I suppose. It's just life, isn't it? Naturally, realised it more than I thought it would. But just about settled in the new house and that now. So waiting for the baby now, the next one.
How long you got to go for that?
Well, she's 30 weeks now, so I don't know, about 10 weeks, I don't know. All right. 8 weeks, 10 weeks, I don't know.
You know what you're having?
Yes, yeah, having a baby boy.
Oh, lovely.
So, you never know. He might play football, might not. Depends how he feels.
Oh, nice one. Well, I'll crack into the, get talking kids chat. I've got 5 of my own, mate, so...
yeah, they take over. I've heard from many other people. So.
Yeah. Oh, you love it,
enjoying the last few weeks of freedom.
Yeah, got a bit of research on you. I got a few spies here and there, and was just saying, you're part of the Brighton Academy, and I'll just say, actually, remembering that Ryan Worrell was part of that same Brighton Academy, wasn't he, or was he a few years below you?
Yeah, no. Ryan he's school year above me, so he'd have been age group above. I joined Brighton at 14, I think.
Yeah.
14 to 16, so I was probably with Ryan for about a year and a half in there. So I met him there, and then obviously when he was talk about him coming to Hastings and that, we picked back up where we left off, really. Yeah.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, so
would have played alongside him, I think once or twice maybe back then, but it all happens so quickly at that age, and you know, things happen, contracts, it gets a bit serious at quite a young age. So
yeah,
you learn quickly.
Yeah. Well, I was just say, is any of those, apart from Ryan, but any of the lads that you played with at that level, do you keep in contact with them, or if they've gone on to league clubs or anything?
I wouldn't say I've met too many since. I see them about, obviously we'll have a chat and stuff. There's a few playing around this level. And then a couple maybe conference, and then maybe one or two in the league. But no one really from my age group or a year above that I can think of off the top of my head that have made it, you know, properly, made it big, I suppose. But I don't keep in contact with too many of them. It was just one of them things, really. It all departed, and then everyone lived everywhere, and that was it. You sort of cracked on, and if you sort of kept close, but I was never overly close, I suppose, with too many people.
You play on the pitch like that, Ben.
No, yeah, keep your enemies closer, don't you?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, mate. Because then you moved on to Worthing, yeah, and you had a bit of they had a bit of success, didn't they? They was it the right? Yeah, I've got it down here. You made the play, went up through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ryman's South Division. And unless I've got something really wrong here that I didn't realise, a certain centre half that plays for Hastings United might have been the manager at the time. Am I wrong there?
No, yeah, that's correct. Gary Elphick was joint manager at the time, probably for, what was he, I think 2.5 seasons roughly.
Yeah.
Joined Worthing at 16, so straight released from Brighton. Adam Hinchelwood was my manager at the time there. Then he moved on to Brighton. Then there was a little bit of trouble at the club in terms of budget, money, funds, etc. And then that's when the 3G sort of got introduced, and George Dow come in, actually, the current owner. He's great guy. Really helped the club massively, which in turn presented me and a lot of young players with a lot of opportunity. Lloyd Dawes was there at the time.
Was he? All right.
Yeah. So, me, him and Gary, quite local to each other, and we've known each other for a fair few years now, yeah.
Blimey. Well, I just want to know, did he throw any teacups at you? I mean, what was...
Not me personally, but there was bins flying around and doors getting punched. Yeah, there was certainly some good memories.
And was that just by you or by him?
Oh, not me. I'm pretty calm, cool, collected, really.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem it on the pitch. Getting the changing rooms, I might have a little word, but I'm never too violent. I think I'm quite a nice person at heart. Not that Gary's not. He just loves his football and a bit of a determined winner, and gets his feelings out.
It's always good. It's always good for everyone to know where they stand. Yeah, you also played in Sussex Senior Cup final for Worthing against Eastbourne, and obviously that was at the Amex. I mean, you've already kind of answered it, that if there was any sort of people from the Brighton that you remembered when you came back there, but if we've all kind of moved on, I suppose it's it. But I mean, what was that like as an experience anyway?
Obviously to play at the Amex, Premier League stadium now. I don't think it was at the time. I think they're probably just about to go up. It's brilliant playing in front of a fairly large crowd. Might be about 4,000 or 5,000 there. Lovely pitch, freedom to play, and then a really good side. So I'd played there a couple of times previously when I was at Brighton. So it wasn't anything too new as such, but like the opportunity to play on, immaculate pitches and in occasion like that was, it's brilliant. Embraced it. And unfortunately, to be honest, didn't have a greatest time in front of goal in that game. Probably should have scored a couple, we should have won. But that's cup football and that's football. So they got one goal, I think, and that was it. But I think we dominated most of the game. We were a pretty good side, young, energetic, good footballing team, and just on the day it wasn't meant to be. So agony in the ecstasy, of the cup. Yes, exactly that. Enjoyable, actually. A lot more thrilling than a league game sometimes.
Well, actually, this is a bit of a sour note. So then, obviously, you had your serious injury.
Yeah.
That was while playing for Worthing, yeah?
Yeah, that was in the pre-season, probably, I think, was it 4 years ago now, maybe? 4 or 5.
But always been meaning to ask, like, did you know straight away this is awful, or what? I mean, we'll talk us through it.
All I can really remember is I actually scored doing it. We had a free kick on the right. The ball's come in. I've attacked the front post and Leap flicked it on. And I remember, whilst in the air, seeing it hit the keeper's hand and then hit the top of the net. Next minute, the shot kicks in. I just had my hand in the air and I sort of looked down and was like, oh, shit, there we go. But in the moment, there's so much pain, I suppose, adrenaline, all the things you'd feel in an accident like that, and it all bypasses you a bit quite quickly. But we were lucky, to be honest, that we were playing Watford under-23s at the time. So the academies, professional academies, always have a very highly qualified physio, or at least part doctor, I suppose. They have gas and air for circumstances like that. So I was in the best hands capable, really. He was really, really helpful, actually. Check, because with a dislocation, they've got to check for a pulse in your foot. If you don't have one, then they've got to get your ankle back in position quite quickly. Yeah. But I suppose, luckily, they didn't have to do that there and then, which I think would have been quite traumatising, because when I went to hospital and got that done, they give me some kind of drugs which you black out, so you're awake but don't remember a thing. And they told me I was a very, very foul-mouthed person.
Never.
And it didn't actually go back into position. My ligament had come across my ankle joint whilst doing it. So I had to wait until the operation for that to be fully located back in. So I was in bed in hospital for 5 days, just with my leg in the air, waiting for the swelling to go down for an operation. Yeah, it was just a bit of a whirlwind, really. It was unexplainable, and I wouldn't say it was any sadness or anything like that. There was a lot of discomfort for the next 6-7 months, really. I was on crutches, couldn't walk for 5 months, couldn't weight bear.
Blimey.
And then after that, it was just building the confidence and the strength and everything back up, and then getting the rehab on the ankle to get back playing. But yeah, no, it was tough, very tough.
Could I just say, like, you don't play like someone who's had that injury? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you're not someone who ducks out of anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean, you know, it's happened. I mean, I've broken my wrist a couple of times, done my ankle, pulled multiple muscles. It at the time, and then when you do recover and you're just fresh back, it's in the back of your mind. But after that, I mean, it's all forgotten about, and I'd never be one to grimace at a tackle or a challenge. And, you know, if you live your life in fear of what could happen, could have happened before, then you're not really going to go anywhere. So
yeah, true. Oh, wise words there, Mr. Pope. Wise words. Beyond your years, you're how old are you, Ben? You're 20.
23.
You're 23. Bloody oil of Ulay, mate. That's what it is. You're 23. God, do you know what? I thought Ryan was younger than you.
No,
obviously the wavy hair.
He's
Ryan's
probably, I think, he's about 6 months older than me.
Yeah. See, I don't
know. I've always been told that I've got a older mindset.
Yeah. No,
whether that's my bringing up or what, I don't know. But
well, maybe that's for another interview. We talk about you bringing up.
I can't remember much of it, to be honest. Got a terrible memory.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, you moved on to Burgess Hill. Yeah. So from Worthing.
Yes. Yeah. Burgess Hill.
That transition to Burgess Hill, was that that you'd been out for a long period of time, and that Burgess Hill offered to have you in, or was it Worthing?
Yeah, what was happening there? So at the time, you had Ian Chapman, the manager, who I'd over the years got to know, and you know, respected me as a player, and I always respected him as a person and a manager. So I came back the season before, I think. Yeah, the season that I came back from my broken leg, Adam Hinchelwood came back in as manager. Gary left early in the season, and I was playing regularly. I was made captain and everything at Worthing. Was doing pretty well. And then
I thought that was it. Sorry, I'm not up to date there. So you actually came back.
Yeah, so I came back and made it back within that season. So it happened in the end of July in the pre-season. Then I was back maybe for the last 3 or 4 games, just getting an appearance here and there. Probably wasn't quite ready, but just wanted to get on with it, really. And I don't know if it's put any damage or anything. I don't know, it restrained anything, but you know, I'm fine. I'm seeing all right now.
Does Dane have problems with you? Do you know, like where you'll want to stay on the pitch and he's got his magic sponge or whatever he's got?
Dane, yeah, he does. He tries to look after me well. I say try, he does. He's a good fella, Dane. But yeah, there is times he's telling the fuck off.
He's unsend-offable as well. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. We got that red card. He should have been in the stands. Yeah, unbelievable, isn't he?
You're back at Worthing.
So back at Worthing. Played under Adam Hinchelwood. We lost a lot of players, and when Gary left, and we were left with quite a young squad. We were playing under 18s. I think we didn't win a game in about 16 games, maybe 1 point in about 15 or something. So I got made captain, and then was playing week in, week out. Adam Hinchelwood came in and brought a few good players in. Then made a little bit of a great escape, really. Managed to get up the table and win a fair few games, and wouldn't say by the skin of teeth, quite comfortable in the end, really, but stayed up. But towards the end of that season, was just out of favour for whatever reason. It is what it is, you know, I can accept it. And there was a little bit of change going on at the club, I suppose, and was told my playing time might be limited as they're bringing in someone else. And at that point, I just want to play football. So I agreed to go to Burgess Hill, where it was sort of promised to be a starting figure. So that was how that come around, really.
So that you went from Burgess Hill to Lewis. And they were in the same league, weren't they? I'm sure they were at the time.
Yeah, Roman Premier at the time.
Yeah. So what happened there then? So did it just not work out at Burgess Hill, or?
Yeah, I mean, Ian Chapman left around maybe Christmas time. I can't quite remember the dates or something. And we were struggling. We had some good players there, but it just didn't click, didn't work. I wouldn't say I was enjoying my football, playing my best football or near it, really. So there was a few players in and out, manager changed, and I just wasn't enjoying it, really. Burgess Hill offered me a new deal, actually. They were very helpful and loyal to me, actually, and offered me a new deal, made me captain also. But I just wasn't enjoying it, how I thought I should be playing football. And then I had a friend from Worthing, Kieran Pammon, at Lewis at the time. And Darren Freeman was the manager, and he'd known me for a fair few years. And, liked me as a player. And as soon as I was speaking to Kieran, he had a little word of Darren. And then the 7-day approach come in, and I took it up because I just wanted to try something new and play football and try and be happy again. So that just, it just didn't work out. And that's all it was, really. So
was that a style of play issue? Was it? Or was it just characters that you just weren't working, just weren't gelling?
It just didn't. Whatever happened, just didn't click.
Yeah.
It might have been style of play, might have been players. I couldn't really put too much.
Yeah.
But they later on got relegated that season, and it was just a tough year all round for the club, I think.
Yeah.
And it might be told I was jump ship, but at the end of the day, unfortunately, you do have to look after yourself. And
short career.
Lewis were at the top of the table or thereabouts. So for me, it was a possibility of going there, doing well, and possibly getting like a promotion even. So, always striving to get to a better level.
100%. So Lewis, what happened there then? So 10 games.
So I joined before the end of the season. Went there, played games, done all right, I thought. Won a few, drew a few. It got really sort of fit at the time, actually. Darren was brilliant for that, and he put a lot of faith into me and really started enjoying my football again. And then certain man in the pre-season, Gary Elphick, had a word, who'd just signed at Hastings, and Chris Agate got in touch, and working with Gary and being sort of, best mates with him, it was a bit of a no-brainer, really, just to go and I suppose the title on offer at the level below. We all want to win things, and that was just it, really. So it was just another whirlwind in the football world. But it was quite an enjoyable time. But I just preferred the prospect at Hastings more. Yeah,
and so it was Gary Elphick. He was the man. Yeah.
Yeah. I worked with Gary. I worked for his dad, so we're together day in, day out.
There you go.
He's a bit of a who's the fella, the Portuguese agent?
Oh, not Mendes, is it?
Yeah, you can call him by Mendes, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh. No, I love it. Love it. You met Chris Agata for the first time. What did you make of him? How did he sell the club?
Probably still only 21 at the time, to be honest. So still, young, striving, potentially looking for professional football. Chris, being a young, up and coming, enthusiastic manager, just put a lot of faith in him, I suppose, to want to work under him and improve me as a player. He sold me on that. And I'll definitely say he's helped me magnificently since joining. Just every little thing, the confidence it brings into me and the trust. He's been brilliant. So it was more just wanting to work with someone that had the same energy to make you and a team a better fit, I suppose, better player, better team.
Nice one.
That was the biggest thing I would say.
So that first season, obviously, COVID cancelled it. Were you happy from a personal point of view? As I remember it, you were banging goals in. You looked like you were enjoying your football. But how was it for you?
Oh, it was. I'll be honest. I've never had a season like that. To be honest, I think maybe I've scored 15 maximum in a year in a season. I think I finished that one and wasn't even finished with 25 goals. Yeah. So it was just in a really happy place, really confident. Great players around me that were putting things on a plate for me and sort of couldn't miss. But the expectations go up on yourself and as a team, and it was just everything was clicking. I was happy, and I don't know, it was like a newfound confidence that I probably didn't have, which I believed I had, but it just brings you on again. And it's probably why we were so successful, or personally I was so successful that season.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think all of us, we all think that we would have gone up that year. If that carried on, I mean, what were we?
Yeah,
we had three games in hand or something, 5 points clear.
Yeah. It would have been some catastrophic fall. I couldn't. The games we had left as well. I mean, it's criminal. It's criminal. We would have gone up. We would have won the league. Yeah.
So it's we're looking at unfinished business this season. Obviously now, I mean, I'm going to ask you the question. I kind of know what your answer is, but how do you see us doing this season? I mean, I've got £100 on us winning with a certain member of the fan base because he showed he was a bit wavering. Anyway, so I'm getting £100 out of him at the end of the season. But I'd say it right. Robbie, I was talking to Robbie, one of the fans there, and he feels like our season started that second half against Ramsgate. I mean, how do you see things?
I could agree with that, and I would still say we may not have even started yet. It's been a very, very slow start from us. We all know it. We're all very disappointed, I suppose. You look to win every game and draw in the first one, I suppose, against a good title rival. You look back at it and you go, to be fair, on the day, if you look at it seriously, you'll take a point. So weren't too disheartened there.
Yeah.
And then against Ramsgate, we weren't at the races first half and caused our own problems and lost the game ourselves. Probably more than enough chances in the second half to get a draw at least, and then if not win. And then Whitehawk was probably the biggest turning point. I think we're all very fired up, and I think we can only get a lot better still from where we've been so far.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed since then.
And to be fair, we've all spoken about it, but we, haven't been the quickest of starters as such. What are we now? 3 league games in, 4 points, is it? Yeah, I mean, we've had Whitehawk, Ramsgate, and Herne Bay, and I mean, ideally you'd look at 9, wouldn't you? But 7 points probably would have been a realistic target.
Yeah.
To be on 4 is pretty disappointing, really. But you're playing against 3 teams you're probably, or on paper at the beginning of the season, you'd say might be there or thereabouts anyway. So, it's just a mindset thing now. And I think we needed it as a bit of a kick up the arse to, remind us of what we want to produce and where we should be at performing.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite obvious after the Ramsgate game that I would say you weren't happy. Well, you weren't happy, but it was that reaction of actually we should be beating teams like that, and so it isn't just, we lost. And I know.
No, I mean, no disrespect to Ramsgate either. I mean, I don't think they'll probably be one of the better sides in the season. I think they've got some good young players and a bit of experience, but to play so poorly and just lose the game from ourselves, that it's not like, I wouldn't say we're beaten by the better team on the day. We caused our own errors and didn't respond well enough at the time to how they'd set up or how we were setting up, and it was just pretty reactive, which in the end, has cost us a point at least. So it was quite a good lesson, I suppose.
Yeah. After that game, obviously since then, we've obviously got Martin on the left and Lloyd Dawes on that right.
Yeah.
Causing all sorts of havoc now. They seem to be getting into proper form now and putting in some proper quality in as well. I mean, you must be loving that.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Martin especially has played against him for a fair few years. Against him, you never see eye to eye, but he's a great lad, and bags and bags of experience at a higher level. And like you say, the delivery, some of the crosses he puts in, I should probably have 2 or 3 goals off of him already this season. He'd be a bit disappointed in me, I think. But like he's putting things on the plate for you. The quality's there. And then Lloyd Dawes, who's just unpredictable, but with so much skill, can create anything out of nothing. So it's exciting. We've got Lamray back. We've got Kenny Pogue who can play there. I think we work as a 2 pretty well. We ever go that sort of route. TC can play on the wing, a good ball carrier. So there's plenty of options and a lot of quality there. Just I'm sure it'll be clicking very soon.
Yeah, no, it's getting there. It's getting there, Ben. So I mean, any last thoughts on? I say on the fan base. You got anything to say to the fans that are going to hear this video?
Just keep backing us up, because we know the numbers are incredible at home games and away. Just there's no other support like it in the league. Just keep backing us, because we will get better, and we will reap the rewards as a whole. So just pretty plain and simple, really. Just all stick together, and the dream will happen.
Yeah. Please, yes. Magic Man, you can make that happen. Anyway, this is going to come out next Thursday, so you can say, Sevenoaks, how many are you getting?
I've already said this over the next 2 games, so I'm looking at 2 or 3 tomorrow.
2 or 3. All right,
lovely 5 in the next 2 games. A bloke at work today, so we've got a bit of work to do tomorrow.
Nice one. well, I'll see you there. I'll see you there, Ben. And
and then we'll be celebrating 3 points and a few goals, hopefully.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'll be pulling you up if you don't get. Well, actually, I won't pull you up. That's the wrong word.
You won't. I might have to throw right up.
No. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But listen, thanks very much for this, Ben.
I appreciate it.
Take care, and hopefully, if you could come on again some point soon.
Of course, not a problem.
All right, and good luck for tomorrow. All right, mate.
Top man, look after yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you,
cheers,
mate.
Chris. Thanks, mate.
Bye. And now over for all the hot takes on our women's team. Here's SEGAL with the thoughts of Billy Wood.
So it's pre-match before the Vitality Women's FA Cup clash between Hastings United and Regents Park Rangers, and as usual, I am with the always wonderful Billy Wood. So, Billy, is there a different magic going into the FA Cup, knowing that this could be the start of an incredible adventure for the team?
It's great that we're in the FA Cup. I think it's a great moment for the town that we have a women's team that want to do well in a competition like this. Different sort of pressure. It's not league pressure. We can kind of enjoy the occasion, but we have a winning mentality across this squad, and I believe that they'll be all hyped up, ready to win this game. It's not been easy going into it. We're missing a few. It's not been easy at all, but at the same time, I believe in the squad that we have out there, and we look to do what we do every week, and that's win.
You talk about the several injuries that's currently in the squad. So picking today's team and squad, because young Nia Statton's come out from the development squad. So is picking today's squad mainly because of injuries, or is it with an eye on making sure you do well in the league?
Not really. I think there's room for a... I'm going to put it this way. We signed X amount of players on because we wanted to have a strong squad and not a strong 11, or a strong 9 and make up the 11. So we got players in of decent calibre to not only compete but try and win the league and do well in the cups. So we've rotated a little bit today. There's been some rotation down to getting game time for players. There's been forced changes due to COVID in the camp, which has led us losing a couple. And there's been a couple of injuries that, with all due respect, I'd rather not risk right now. So with regards to that, Molly misses out today purely based on the fact that she needs another week of a hamstring, and hopefully she's fit and firing for league football next week.
And a quick word on the most recent acquisition. Sophie Bridson signed right at the beginning of the club and brought back now. So apart from adding depth to the squad and competition for the number 1 shirt, what else does she bring to the club?
Sophie's got a lot of experience being at Crystal Palace. Sophie is a calm, cool character. She's brilliant, really. She was the first signing we actually made, and didn't make an appearance, a competitive appearance for the club. She made a couple of friendly appearances and got a couple of clean sheets. Just didn't work out for her last time round. Bit of job, bit of other things, but she was always a player that I wanted at this club. I think it pushes Blair. I think we're very, very fortunate to have a keeper of the calibre of Blair at this football club. But Blair wants competition too. No, Blair isn't a selfish player in that sense. She wants to be pushed, and Sophie will push her. And I'd rather have a headache than wake up on a Saturday thinking who's going to play and go on a Sunday because we've got no keeper. To now we've got 2 quality keepers, which shows not just the depth, but also where we want to be as a football team.
Well, I'm always available.
Not for this team, mate.
Oh, shame. Anyway, thank you, Billy Wood. It's full-time after the Vitality Women's FA Cup match between Hastings United and Regent Park Rangers, and I'm delighted to say it was a 9-0 victory. So, Billy, is there any other word you can use to describe that apart from convincing?
Yeah, I think convincing is the best word for it. It was very convincing. It was diligent. I think I wasn't overly happy going in at half-time. I think we made, with all due respect to Regent's Park, a bang average team look threatening at times, which goes completely against what we're trying to do at Hastings United with the women's team. So gave it our all second half. We kind of changed things a little bit and blew them away. I think fitness showed. I think fitness for our team showed. I made a lot missing today. And obviously Nicole, Tibbs, Molly missing and a few others. But look, we got the job done. It shows once again, like I said before the game, right, that this team, this squad of players has been put together to win regardless of who we're missing.
Did the fact that you only have 3 substitutions as opposed to the roll-on, roll-off that's used in the league, did that affect your preparations today? Because I can imagine in what was quite severe heat at times, some of the players must have been getting very tired.
Yeah, but we've got a very fit squad, so they adapt to those situations well. It's upsetting. I would love to have got Nia Staton on today. She stepped up into the squad today, but obviously with only 3 subs that we could make out of the bench, she didn't get the opportunity today. But the ones that did took it. They did well. I thought Holly once again was solid at right back. She didn't have much to do defensively today, but she did a hell of a lot to do the week before. She was solid. I thought Sharpie was solid as well right back today. I think Naomi did well left side, and I thought Lindsay gave it all up there and got a lot more minutes than she's picked up in recent times. She got a good half hour today, good run out. Shame she didn't get a goal. I thought she did at the end, but sadly that offside flag went up. But I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of roll on roll off. I think it makes things easy. It makes decisions easy. It makes it easy to leave people on the bench or bring someone on for 15 minutes. I prefer the standard subs that should be in football. But, you can only do what the rules tell you to do.
No, I guess after the result, the question is, how far do you think the youth can go?
Win it. No, I'm joking. We can't win. We can't win the competition. But what we do say, we want to win every game that we're involved in. So we're off to Islington for the next round. I don't know much about them yet. We'll find out a bit more about them, do our homework on them, and hopefully we can beat them, get into the 3rd round of qualifying. I don't know, it all depends on the draw, but there's no reason why we can't aspire to get into the 1st round proper and then, hey, what's next?
Thank you. From myself and a bearded Billy Wood.
Time now for our always excellent round table. Thanks to Tony, Leon, Robbie, George, Adam, and Billy Wood for making it happen. Okay, right. First of all, absolute pleasure to have all of these lovely people here for the fan round table this week. But we have a new man here. His name is Leon. Leon, as always, with anyone that we get on the fan round table, please tell me a little bit about yourself, how you fell in love with the club.
I first got taken up as a kid, probably around about 97. Back in, I remember it was in the Southern League. We used to have guys like Stafford Brown up top, Danny Simmons. And literally since then, just because it was only sort of live football I used to watch. I never used to get taken to Premier League football or anything like that. So I used to get taken up there, standing behind the goal, hearing all sorts of stuff no 6-year-old should be hearing, that sort of thing. Yeah. So, and here we are, over 20 years later, still suffering.
Well, I'm not suffering so much.
Well, no. The last
not these
last
days.
year
Not
has been
these
brilliant.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, absolute pleasure having you on. Right, fellas.
Cheers.
So we've had a busy little time. So our first game was Sevenoaks. Yep.
Yep, Saturday.
It was indeed, yeah.
Yep. So we first Sevenoaks. So who, first of all, out of all of us, who went Sevenoaks?
All right.
Yeah.
It's been well documented that I didn't.
Someone didn't go Sevenoaks, but we won't.
Did you miss a say you can do the podcast, George? We've got to make sure you got permission. We don't get in trouble.
Can't all be single, can we, Rob?
Hey, walk into that one. Look, me and my left hand are very happy.
Robbie, I hope not right now, though. Yeah,
Daryl's here, so I can't.
No, okay, fine, yeah. Right. So, who wants to crack on about the game? Robbie, do you want to give a few of your thoughts from a fantastic victory?
It was, obviously, I think, third time doing the Sevenoaks trip. The easier we've had it. Obviously, never a nice ground to go to, horrible fake pitch and quite closed and clustered, but we went there and just dominated. Really good performance for first half, especially. We should have been at least 4-0 up at half time. They couldn't handle us. We were quick in midfield, we controlled it. Martin, fantastic again, banging the ball to the box, unplayable. George is eating something, we're wrestling. It's a really good performance. It's one of those. I think I was typically enjoying myself. It was nice and hot. Performance was good, and refocusing the game as much. I could be dancing, singing. Even Billy started a chant. That's how well it went.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Billy, you did, didn't you?
I did. You know, I don't just shout on a Sunday. So yeah, it was. No, I thought it was brilliant. I really enjoyed. It was, for me, one of the most enjoyable games as chairman since I've come to the club. I really, really enjoyed the Sevenoaks game. I thought we looked so dominant, so manly. Like we looked like we never were in danger, and that's credit to Chris and his staff who have put together such a fantastic squad.
Yeah, no, absolutely, without doubt. I mean, my own thoughts for the game were I was a little bit squeaky bum. 3G pitches, I always get squeaky bum, and I just from the absolute beginning, I just thought we were just brilliant, and just never gave him a sniff really. And it was magnificent, and it's nice seeing Gary get a goal, and so
great celebration.
Yeah, no, it was, wasn't it? I mean, we were all up for it. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the you obviously seen the pictures, Billy, but we did enjoy that. We did enjoy that goal. So
no, it's lovely. You know, I can't. This away support this year, it's unreal. If you look back at some of the videos of when we score goals, the support isn't just behind it's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's quite scary. It's literally everywhere. It's like we're home away. It's become that powerful. So, and that's down to you lads. Really, you make the atmosphere. So well done to you.
Yeah, well, one person that didn't make any atmosphere was Mr. Gasson. He wasn't there. What were you doing when we won 4-1, Mr. Gasson?
I was following the Twitter like a madman, like refresh. It automatically refreshes, but I was still refreshing it, and pleased to see that it was such a comfortable win. I don't think I could have handled watching last night's game on Twitter with what was going on in the last few minutes. So
no way.
Yeah, please, it was a comfortable win.
Yeah. Leon and Tony?
I didn't go. I think the rest of you had a better afternoon than me. I lost 6-1 out at Icklesham, so I still play on a Saturday. So yeah, probably better off watching, isn't I?
Oh dear. Oh, sorry, Leon. And you, sorry, mate. And you, Tony. Sorry. Tony, were you on the Twitter or?
Yes, just following you on the Twitter. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Got a bit of a commitment with Brighton at the moment, though. So.
All right. Well, but did you go up there then?
No. But obviously, yeah, I tune into their television, their Brighton television. So and their commentary. So I was between the two. Yeah.
That'll be for next season, Billy. Yeah, Hastings Television. Yeah.
Don't need it. Fans come, like the amount of people that are travelling now. It's the atmosphere at the ground.
That's it.
You don't want to scare people away by making.
None of us will go then, will we?
Right then, and so obviously then we move on to we had a wonderful FA Cup performance.
Yeah,
you back up that neck.
I managed to catch 10-15 minutes of it on my break from work. Billy, you were patrolling the sidelines. What's your? I know on the podcast you're going to give your thoughts because I've already got those. But I mean that's a nice little comfortable 9-0.
Yeah, I just think we didn't know what to expect from them. They're an unknown team from London. They actually joined on their bus from Camden, I believe, to get down all the way down to us. So long old trip for them. But we were just very comfortable. We were missing some big players. Nicole Bateup was still sick. Georgia Tibble, unfortunately, sick as well. Molly Hill recovering from a hamstring injury. So we're missing some of our big hitters, let's just say. But the strength of the squad, we just dominated the play, looked after the ball, and just moved it around, passed it around. And with all due respect to the team, they didn't really have a sniff. I feel sorry for Blair at the moment. She's collecting clean sheets, not having to do much every week. And but I'm sure this weekend's game coming up will be a lot harder. Let's just say that.
Yeah. What, Robbie, your thoughts? Because you were there, because I saw you in the ground, mate. So,
wasn't it? Yeah, I thought it was very good game, very enjoyable. I say dominant. We didn't look in trouble at all. It was 0-0. They didn't like it was cool. We always knew the goal for us was coming. But to say, apart from I think Blair won a bit of ventures in the goal, I always get a little bit worried that something's going to happen. But it was a game. Yeah, as Billy said, we're missing quite a few first team players. It was good to see some of the ICC playing, get some goal and get some good game time, and really good performance all round. I mean, again, similar to 7-8's game, it's really enjoyable to get games. Just they're enjoying it rather than analysing it. So.
The one thing I want to add, Chris, if I can, is that the score lines are sometimes quite massive, but I want to just make it very clear that the quality in our team, like if you come up to watch, the biggest thing that we get when the first timers come up and see us play is, oh my God, I can't believe how good football you play. Like it's technically a decent game of football to watch. It's not, sometimes it gets painted with a certain brush because it's a certain step of women's football, but we play very, very good football. We look after the ball, we move the ball fast, we pass the ball along the deck. We're organised, we defend well. We're just a really, really solid team. And these score lines aren't a reflection on the standard that we're playing. It's a reflection on the quality of the team. And all I can say is, the crowds are growing. Let them carry on growing because the atmosphere is fantastic. And it was so good to see so many young girls in Hastings United kits, either being ball girls or just supporting the team. The club's changed, and for me, for the better. We're very inclusive, regardless of the agenda, and that's the way it's going to be going forward.
Okie dokie. All right, then. Yeah, well, I did like the actually someone who's coming on in a second. Mr. Adam Smith is appearing in a moment. He's changed the goal.
Yes.
And it was nice. There was some. I don't know whose girls they were. There was about three or four little girls down the front, and they all were dancing along to it. So it was sweet. It was very sweet. That was right, chaps. We now move on to Burgess Hill. I unfortunately couldn't make it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, you're such a terrible fan. I can't believe you didn't make Tuesday. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah. NHS saves lives. Right. So from George, we will hand it over to you, George. You were there. The returning Gasson. Didn't you go to this game?
Okay. Yes. Yeah, did you? No. Oh, sorry. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
brilliant. Right.
Poor man's Keith Chegwin. Go on.
For me, it's like the gnarliest game to get to. Yeah, I always enjoy it. It's one of those Tuesday. It's a game that suits it being on a Tuesday night. It's just one of those, that part of the world. Just used to it. Maybe it looks better in the dark, Burgess Hill. Maybe that's why it's always on a Tuesday. But just one of those games where if we're going to win the league, we win those games and we get out of that last 5 minutes without conceding the third, and we did it. So teams that are going to finish in the playoffs and mid-table would have drawn or lost that game after they come at us in the second half, but we didn't. So I wouldn't say we were lucky. We can't say we were lucky to win because we scored 3 goals before they score 1. So it's not really luck, is it? But yeah, brilliant sort of, and the end of the first half to get 2 goals in the end of the first half like that. That's a champion's performance.
Yeah, killer.
Yeah. Robbie?
Yeah, so I like the character we showed. Obviously, we let it slip a little bit at the end with 2 goals. But apart from that, really good determination character. You can see they were trying to get Benny Pope sent off, try and bully the ref. He was useless, that's one point. The ref refused to send Popey off, and then obviously, all right, you're going to play those games, are you? Instead of getting into a fight with you, we'll just stick you with 2 goals. And that's exactly what we did. So it's straight up there, boom, hit him once. While they were still reeling, we did what the good teams do. Oh, well, what happened to us at Ramsgate, actually? Oh, well, they're suffering from a goal here. Let's hit him again. Let's hit him hard. That's what we did, 2-0. Game was ours from them.
Yeah. They won't send off Popey because he's got papal power, just so you know. Sorry, that was bad. Right. Who else we got? Well, we've got a Mr. Smith here, have we?
Yo, hello.
Yeah, hello. Right, just in time. Burgess Hill.
Squeaky bum time.
Yep. Is that it all?
That's the review.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know if I could speak for all the guys that weren't there, but it was definitely squeaky bum time on Twitter. Just refreshing constantly when it was 3-2 in injury time. Who was on the Twitter that day? Was it you, Adam?
It was me.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the subs wrong, Adam. I mean, come on, who gets the subs wrong on Twitter? Oh, outrageous.
My advisors on the night weren't great.
Yeah. Look, I saw 2 sub boards go up. I assume they're both for us. I had to hold the hands up. I was responsible for the wrong tweet.
Unbelievable, Robbie.
Unbelievable.
Right in. Right, are we happy? Are we finished on Burgess Hill? Any of the other gentlemen? Tony, Leon, do you want to say any thoughts on the Burgess Hill win?
No, I wasn't there. Lads probably got it covered on the fair fan side.
No, don't say that, Leon. You're not a fair one, mate. You've been going 20.
Not everyone can make every game, Leon. We understand that. Everyone misses an occasional game. We're very forgiving about that sort of thing. So the real
now and then.
Yeah.
Still play as long as I can until my legs can.
Good boy.
How many more years have you got, Leon?
Yeah. Years? Well, I wouldn't say years. Months.
What position you play, Leon, by the way?
All over. I'm a James Milner.
James Milner. Oh,
yeah, I tend to drop further back with age. Used to play on the wing, but now I've sort of dropped further and further back, getting rinsed up by 18, 19-year-olds these days. But no, us selections still do it. So yeah, I'm not obviously up at the pilot field for every home game, so I'm still sort of try and play a bit.
No, okay. Right then. Okay. Right, we're done with Burgess Hill, so we're moving on.
Hang on, just one thing about Burgess Hill.
Okay, yes, George.
For Billy, their burgers are very expensive, but they did a curry over chips with a naan for a £5, and it was bloody brilliant. So just maybe a point for our own club. Bit of a catering tip. That was lovely on a Tuesday night. Just wanted to give them a shout out.
George, I'm gonna say this: they are expensive, but their burgers are actually all right.
They did look good, but I went for the curry.
Right.
They went for the curry. They
don't blame them.
They did look good.
Right then. Right, we finished on curry. Right, so we move on to what? Unless we've got any more football talk, we move on to the pilot field discussion that we had last week. Obviously, Tony raised some of the issues that he raised, and now we have Tony here, but we also have Billy here. So, Billy, did you want to start on some of the points that Tony raised?
Yeah. I'm kind of. I'm a little bit bemused, really. I was a little bit just shocked by some of the comments, really, because it came across as it was fact, but from someone who's well involved in the builds, in the negotiations, in the with all due respect, within the moving this club forward into what it deserves to be as a national league, potentially a professional football league club. Yeah. I was just a bit shocked by the comments, especially the feeling towards Darren. I found it very cold in the name, from a supporter of this football club, calling him Mr. Bernie. It's Darren. I'm sure most will say that Darren, since he's been at this football club, has invested a lot of money without any guarantees, by the way. I want to put that out there. Darren and Peter, keep saying Mr. Bernie, but we also, it's very hard. It shouldn't be forgotten that there's a Mr. Peter Sherlock who was at Sevenoaks on Saturday, has been to a lot of games this year, and is also a co-owner of this football club. They've put in a lot of money, invested in different managers at this football club. Thankfully, we've got a fantastic manager at this football club now who does things a lot differently to the past. I don't know. I just was a bit shocked about the accusations on money, and I just want to dig a little deeper on where they've come from, because it couldn't be further from the truth. If anything, this deal for the stadium was probably, and I'm sure Darren would say this, financially the worst financial deal he's ever done in his career. So I'm willing to pass this back over, but where are these accusations coming from about 7.5 million, and also the fact that we won't be guaranteeing the survival and the future of this football club? I just can't see it, especially because we've been so. Well, I hope, and lads, please tell me if I'm wrong, please. But I would hope that since I've been at the football club, we've been very, very transparent about everything we do, and I just can't understand how we would be accused of potentially risking the future of Hastings United Football Club for a £7.5 million payout, and Darren rides off into the sunset. I just don't see it. So I'm willing to hear more. I'm not jumping down anyone's throat, but I'm here to give facts. I'm here to be honest. I'm here to refute some of the claims, and just to listen, and hopefully I can give you a real, transparent, honest assessment of where we're at with the new stadium, and actually who benefits from the new stadium.
Okay. Right. Oh, hello, Tony.
So I got cramp.
Oh, he's stretching it out. Yeah.
That was time so well. It looked like he was stropping off.
I'm back on it. Yeah. The old sciatica. Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear from Billy. Clarification on that the club is going to go forward and is in safe hands. That's what's good to hear. As it is for residents, it's mainly our beef is mainly with Hastings Borough Council and the planning department to make sure that we preserve what we can of the natural conditions in the pilot field, i.e. the 200-year-old oak trees and the established wildlife we've got there. So that's our beef with mainly with Hastings Borough Council, to make sure that everything is.
Tony, on that, okay, that's totally fine, and that's totally fine as a resident.
Yeah.
But last week, you made out that we were the devil, with all due respect.
Now,
listening back to the podcast,
it's only what I've gleaned so far from various Labour councillors. So.
Where is this? Where is this dialogue?
You're on to clarify the situation, and then we can take the club forward. But it's good that you're on to clarify the situation. Yeah, it's good to hear it. Can
I just confirm? Yeah. Your beef is actually the fact that there's going to be houses on the pilot field, rather than
no. I'm not too. I'm not too fussed about that. It's just it's just the planning application that's gone into Hastings Borough Council. Everything with biodiversity these days and carbon neutral and all this stuff that as Hastings Borough Council own the ground. Well, the people of Hastings own the ground because it was given in trust to the people of Hastings in, I think, about 1908. So just that they had adhered to the proper protocols these days with the problems of climate change.
Okay. Can I just chip in one sec? Yeah. Tony, because obviously I'm a Labour Party member here, yeah? If Labour Party councillors are making spurious claims, I mean, maybe I'll talk to you about this afterwards. You know,
it's only what I've gleaned from who guys, you know, people.
But that's fair enough, because you can only go by what someone's telling you.
That's told me, yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
But equally, if they're coming out with things which are just completely fictitious, or I mean,
but the fictitious part is that if you want to clarify it at all, is that Hastings Borough Council are giving the land and the untiled kiln as well.
Absolutely fictitious. That's fictitious.
Is it really?
Absolutely fictitious. It's not just fictitious. It's stone cold lies, and it's really sad. It's sad.
So what the Hastings? Because I actually wrote to the chief executive of the council, and they never bothered to reply to me because I wanted to clarify these certain points, and I never got a reply at all. So
that's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's
so
totally
when you don't get a reply from the chief, you know, the person who's actually running Hastings Borough Council, you start thinking, well, is there truth in these rumours at all? You know.
Well, I'll give you this, right? Yeah. We barely get replies, so I don't blame that there.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, with all due respect, whether you believe it was true, not true, or whatever, the way you portrayed it on this podcast last week was as fact. And with regarding the way you talked about the land being given for free was as fact, and it's not fact. Okay, right. The fact of the matter is the council will be making a significant six-figure sum based on their valuations of both this site, the pilot field, and Tile Kiln.
Right.
The site, Tile Kiln, as it is, doesn't go into the possession of Darren Burney or Mr. Burney, as he was quoted last week. That doesn't happen, okay? We lease Tile Kiln, okay? Right. So we don't own, or Mr. Burney doesn't own Tile Kiln.
It'll be
a lease. It'll be a lease, okay?
That's fine.
Number one, so he's not going to get the land and sell the land off and then Hastings is done, because that's not the case. Yeah. There's the application for both sites has to be heard at the same time. They can't be heard singular. They have to be heard together, as it's a project. It's one project. Okay, right. So we can't agree houses on the pilot field and be nomads and have nowhere to go. And by the way, that will never happen while I'm chairman of this football club. Football is first for me, and I'm here 7 days a week fighting for this football club to be better. And I'll carry on doing it for no pay. I'll do it for no pay because I believe in a project of this football club.
Very good, very commendable.
And with that. Just with that point about they'll start building and then he won't bother building. You don't know Darren Burney, you don't know Peter Shirk enough then, because we talk about this football club every single day. This football club, not about building houses. That we never talk about building houses. It's not this Essex building man who's come in because he does construction projects.
Right.
He loves football. Darren's a football man, right? Good. Peter's a football man, and they care about not us just being here. Yeah. They, like, for example, last night at the game, both Peter and Darren are texting me throughout the game. How are we getting on? How are we looking? They care about the football.
That's good.
We will not go to Tile Kiln. Let me finish this and then you can jump in, mate, as well. Yeah. We will not go to Tile Kiln on just by building a football pitch, right? It doesn't progress. We want to be a football league club. Me, Darren, Peter, and the board want us to be in a football league, right? We won't be like other football league clubs, but we want to be in a football league. And to do that, we need a new site because, with all due respect, this place cost a fortune year in, year out to maintain, just to keep maintained.
Yes.
Okay, so every year I get a structural engineer's report on the stand. every single year, and every single year it's getting worse.
Yeah,
we had to, for FA grounding, we had to change all the around the pitch, not the barriers around the pitch, but if you look at the bank, there's a brand new wooden fence that goes round, okay, all the way round. That costs £6,000 just to put that up. Yeah. In COVID, right? So in COVID, we had to do that. We had to fix. We've had to fix the main stand roof, which cost an absolute arm and a leg, another four-figured sum. We've had to, and then that's going to be needed done again in a couple of years' time. There's significant damage to the tarmacking that we need to do for health and safety. There's consistent and continuous problems with the structure of the main stand underneath, flooding and what have you. It's non-stop. This club, to survive, and it's very easy for people to say, and I was one of them, by the way, 5 years ago. It's very easy for people to say, just redevelop the pilot field. Just do that. Just do that. Like, why wouldn't you? You've got a ground. Do your ground up. But to generate the cash to be able to make this happen, give this town, give this town an opportunity to have success, because with all due respect to Hastings Council, to people in Hastings or whatever, this town for the last 20 to 25 years has been in rapid decline when it comes to sporting facilities, when it comes to pitches. Like Leon will back this up as a player, a grassroots player, that some of these pitches don't even get cut. There was a game called off at Tulkiln at the weekend because the goals in the ground weren't the same size. That is an absolute joke. This town has declined in facilities, done nothing about it. They're moving cricket, not just up to Hornside, but now after getting rid of the old Priory Meadows site and moving it for the betterment of this town, they're now moving it out of the borough. Which is disgusting. Okay. And with all due respect, all we're trying to do is give this town a facility that everyone can be proud of. 2 4G pitches, a brand new stadium, a banqueting hall, a bar, a gym, not just a gym within our stand, but a commercial gym, which is the secondary side, which will be with a commercial partner, not with us. We won't run that gym. It'll be there with a commercial partner. Educational space for the college, so we can carry on our educational program to carry on doing more with the kids locally. And when they get into further education from 16 plus, all we're trying to do as a football club is go, how can we be successful and give this town success and put Hastings on the map? And it's the only way, and it's the right way. And I know people are going to have their own agendas. We walk our dogs on Tulkiln, or we don't want houses, we don't want council houses in brackets near our nice posh £500,000 houses. Fine, I get it, but that's not what's coming down here. And people have got to understand that things have to move on. It's not 1951 anymore. It's 2021. And this town is in danger, if we don't do it, is in danger of losing their football club to outside the borough, because we need a site. We need to do something. Because ultimately, if we don't, with all due respect of me patching it up, getting bigger crowds, this place hasn't got another 10 years in it. It just hasn't.
Right.
Yeah, very good.
Billy, that was more than a minute, mate.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Sorry.
Well, you were in the flow, weren't you? But,
sorry, Chris. What it is for me, it's just...
He's gone. He's off again.
No, I'm going to be very quick with this one. What it is for me is I'm just sick to death with people, things being spun to make people look bad. And I don't like it, because when I came into this football club, the first thing I said to Darren was, because Darren was like, oh, I'm hated in Hastings. And I went, you're not hated, you're just not known. And I said to him, look, we need to, as a club, be welcoming. And all we've done, like in this podcast, Chris, could you imagine if you'd done this podcast 3 years ago, you would not be talking about women's football at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. You wouldn't have 150 girls. I've just left now. I've just dropped my daughter off at home.
Yeah.
I've just left Tull Kiln, where we plan to have the new stadium, where there is an under 7s, 9s, 11s, 13s, 15s and development women's teams all training tonight. And we need a home. We need training facilities. We need to... These kids deserve it. Like, let's look past building houses and let's look at the future of this town. These kids, let's look at it. We need to do it because otherwise, when that sun comes down in October, with all due respect, I'm scrambling, and I'll say this as someone who it doesn't look like they're scrambling from the outside. We're scrambling to make sure we've got enough training facilities to cater for the 300 kids that are playing football for this club. It's not good enough.
Excellent. Yeah, I admire your vision. That's very good. And now you've explained things a bit better. It's very good. Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Can I ask something quickly, Tony, on this?
Yeah.
Where did that £7.5 million figure come from?
I don't know. I was speaking to a councillor, and that's what they seem to be bandying about. And he was a Labour councillor. So.
The build of the new stadium will cost around 7.5 million, but we're not going to make.
Right, that's where you're going to get mixed up in there. Yeah. So it was just when you don't get an answer from the chief executive of Hastings Borough Council, when you put all these points to them, and they haven't got the courtesy to answer you back as being on the local residents committee. It was on behalf of the local residents committee. I wrote to the chief, the council leader, Kim Forward, and when they don't bother to respond at all, you think, well, is there any substance in these?
If the council aren't responding, it doesn't mean that the club are doing something wrong, and then things can come on and be said as facts when they're not. I think that's an important point to make. Like, it's that the council have screwed up by not responding to you, and we should get more responses from our council, and they should be accountable. But just because they're not bothered to respond to you, which they should be, it doesn't mean that the club is then at fault and certain things are fact. I think that's a point that needs to be made.
Yeah.
Cut yourself off early there.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, that's when they say they're giving when you hear the fact, when you query the fact, are you giving this land away or not? And they don't bother to answer the question.
But it doesn't mean it's a yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's a yes because they didn't answer. That's like if someone said to me, Billy, what do you think about the Tory government? And I don't give an answer because I don't want to get involved in politics. Doesn't mean I said it's crap. You know, you can't. The assumptions aren't. It's just,
well,
look, everyone's allowed an opinion, right? And opinions are fine, okay. But I think the biggest thing that hurt me last week, as a supporter of this football club, as well as and I'll give you the exclusive on here, Chris, as a now shareholder of this football club, okay. I was hurt, and I listened on to it a bit, and I kind of calmed down a bit when I heard Robbie, and I heard Flat White Andy, who's not on today. Is he?
He's in Spain. No, he's in Spain. He's,
surprise.
Yeah.
I heard a bit more. It was a bit more diplomatic, and there was a bit more of a conversation. I was really hurt because number one, and I've really drove this point, and I do talk for England, as Chris always points out to everyone.
Yeah, I do.
I'm I'm a bit overly transparent, if you know what I mean. I will tell obviously when it comes to team selection or what Aggie's doing, that's the sacred line. Don't cross that. But when it comes to what we're trying to achieve this football club, I'm really, really, I'm approachable. So what I don't get is I listen to it and listen to Mr. Burney's doing this, Mr. Burney's doing that, and the club's going to do this, and the club's in danger. Is he committed to the club? I'm sitting there going, but this is from the support of our football club, and I try and say hello to everyone. Why have I not been asked this? Why have I not been approached and gone, Billy? I approached the council. They didn't give me an answer. I see you smiling and talking to some supporters down at the pilot bar. Just like, why wasn't I ever asked? And it wound me up for the first time in 2 years, apart from a match day. I was a bit wound up because I was thinking, I would have genuinely hated supporters or people who might have just tuned into Chris's podcast by accident to heard that and taken that as fact. when it was so far off, but presented as fact, it could have been really, really damaging to the brand of this football club what we're trying to be. And that wasn't, I didn't take that, I don't know, maybe I took it too personally.
Equally, Billy, equally, get down from that soapbox, please, sir. If Tony's heard these things from, and we need to, I'm gonna check into this. If we have people making these spurious claims, and then like Chinese whispers, they then become bigger and bigger. Yeah, exactly. I think what we learn from maybe this conversation is that communication is the key, and that Billy is not difficult to talk to, and if that's the way we should do things. I mean, it's almost a side issue that if Tony, if you're saying to us that these people have said these things to you, and then it's gone on from there, that they've then gone quiet, that's something that I think we need to look into.
Yeah, totally agree.
But go on, Tony. Sorry, mate.
We've got more council elections next May, so.
I know I got an email about standing. Hey, imagine
there
that.
We go.
Imagine
there
that.
We go.
Hey. Imagine that. Me and see, Mr. Gasson could be my advisor. Right. No, I'm not doing any of that. Thank you. Right. No. So.
It's good to get this clarification. Very, very pleased. Yeah.
Yeah. So just from a like, if someone's just listening to this podcast again, they've heard the last week's. Some of the points that were raised were in terms of when we move over to Tynekiln, if everything goes through, Billy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we move, as I seem to remember, we move when we hit stage 2 of the build. Is that correct?
When we have the facilities in place to be able to financially push this club forwards, we're not going to move to a grass pitch with a stand. That's not happening. So, for example, one of the things was how we're going to raise money and why would Darren commit to building the rest once he's pocketed the cash, right? Well, we've got to. We're moving for a reason. Like, we genuinely want to be a progressive pushing forward. Like, as a town of this size, we want to go up the leagues. It's the journey that we want to go on. So we won't move until we're ready to move. Like, won't be a digger in the sand, in the mud here, ripping this place up until we've gone happily to the new stadium. It's just as simple as that. The way it looks in the plans is the way.
And that's written in stone, Billy. Just so that's like that is written in stone.
100%. Yeah, 100%. By the way, phase 2 is the gym.
Yeah,
it's the gym. It's not the whole site. Like, it's not just building the football stadium is going to have everything in the stadium, right? So the only additional building to that is this new commercial gym. The way we've changed the plan.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So, like, everything will be there. Like, even a mini gym in the stadium, like in the big stand. Like, so there'd be the ticketing office, the new club shop, the bar, the banqueting hall upstairs, the boxes, the classrooms, the physio rooms. Everything will be there, and it's. Our commitment is to make sure that that's all delivered. And once that's delivered, we can leave the pilot field to go there. And we want to be better off. We don't want to be going somewhere where we still will go in, should we train on the pitch tonight? Simon, feel sorry for Simon. He's got another night of preparation to go because Aggie's got to do 2 sessions this week on the pitch. No, we want to go somewhere where we've got a 3G facility that we can use. So there's no point just building a grass pitch stadium and then going, we might do that in 5 years' time. It's got to be done. It's as simple as that. And, I'll be a liar and not a man of my words, and I'll resign if that ever happened. If that didn't happen that way, I would just resign. So it won't happen.
All right. I've got a few questions from the fan forum website for you, Billy, but I don't know if Tony or any of the others have got any questions for you.
No, it's very, very informative.
I was sort of interested. I think Tony raised a point last week about future-proofing the club, like sort of in terms of income. Like, will the club be making money out of I think there's 2 4G pitches. Obviously, you're getting money through like the sports bar, function room, and that. I was just sort of wondering if that's the way the club's going to make income is through hiring out the facilities up there.
Absolutely, it'll be the facility hire, our further links with education. That will be a massive boost for the football club that we can then reinvest back into the football club. The commercial gym will be a big source of income for us as well. And just the site in general, Leon, it makes the club a little bit more viable. Right now, thank God we're getting big gates, because we can compete with big gates. Because we've got the big gates, we can compete and keep investing in. Like, people forget that we invested into the young setup that we've done right now. We put a lot of money into that, and that helps with the gates, the ancillary income and whatnot that we have with that. So from my end, I wouldn't like to quote figures on what we earn, but we've looked at the feasibility study, the feasibility on the business side of things, and it turns us into a potentially huge club. And that's what we want. This town needs success. Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing, "Oh, Hastings is this or Hastings is that." I'm proud to be from Hastings. Like, as everyone knows, I weren't born here. I moved here, but I'm proud to be from Hastings, and we want to give this town something to be proud of.
Yeah, cool. I think so I don't know. It's like everyone's sort of stuck in the past. Like, also, when you asked me about how I first started supporting the club, I sort of said how it used, back in the day, it used to be this and that, whatever. And it's good to have something to look forward to. And
Well, for example,
on that positive,
I got an email from a long-time supporter of the football club, and he told me about when he went to his first game it was either 1959, 1969. And I've probably got that wrong, so he's going to hate me now. But he was telling me that, he told me the date, who they played, and the gate. And we're now quadrupling that gate.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Like, I'm hoping that we're engaged in a new fan base and not being stuck in the past anymore.
Yeah,
without forgetting the history of this club. And I'm sure the older supporters know that I'm very, very, very accommodating to them as much as I possibly can, and they always pop in the week. It's quite nice.
I'm sure you're quite aware that I went into my sort of local history and that. So, so another thing I was going to sort of bring up is, as someone who's involved in grassroots, like, will the facilities be available, for anyone in the area? Like, the teams that use Tile Kiln right now, are they
absolutely
able to carry on playing, make the most of their facilities?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Their facilities up there are shocking. What they get charged for what they get is not good enough. It's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just up there now. It's not good enough. We have committed to every team that's on there now, that plays their Saturday football on there, to not charge them a single penny more for the brand new facility. That number one for me. Look, I played a lot of grassroots locally as well. It's number one for me that we respect that, and we'll do that with training facilities and training nights to be time allocated to be able to be used by other clubs. So it won't be just overrun Hastings. There'll be a lot of community stuff, a lot of free hours as well we're given. So the local kids in the area get free football coaching for not, like, they'll be able to turn up for nothing. And I think that's important. It's about tomorrow, and it's about, I would have killed for that sort of facility in this town. Like,
definitely.
The best thing was Filsham Valley's Astro at the time. We used to have to climb over the fence to get on it. This town needs it. It's not got one full-size 3G. It's mental.
Yeah, well, I always sort of draw comparisons to Eastbourne. Like, off the top of my head, they've got, 2 full-size 3G, 4G pitches. Maybe, I think those who got Eastbourne Borough, the sports park, and I think maybe Eastbourne College.
Yeah,
and, that's
Causeway School as well, I believe. I think it's Causeway School.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Yeah, I always sort of draw comparisons. So, like, similar size town, similar area, and we've all, from my living memory, we've always fallen far behind.
Yeah, massively. It's not good enough. And that's why I know I went on a bit of a rant about the last 20, 25 years, but I was one who kind of got hit with that, because I'm from that generation that has seen the decline, like you, Leon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Youngsters.
I'm in my 30s now.
Bloody, bloody 30s.
Fair time.
Yeah, I know. I'm no longer eligible for young persons.
Right. Leon, have you got any more questions?
No.
No, good, right.
That was it, mate, yeah.
Well, nice one. Robbie, anything?
It's really everything really feel much said, and got nothing major to add. On a slightly different note, I'm going to really drop off because I have some pre-arranged plans. So
yeah,
I do apologize for leaving early, but say thanks to everyone and thanks
for
coming back on.
Tell her thanks. Thanks for giving your time.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Take care, Robbie. Okay, right.
Robbie.
Yeah. I had a couple of questions, Billy. One of them is actually from George, who I think has to dash as well. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here.
Do you want to ask that question then, George? Quick.
Yeah, just a little thing, Bill, about the capacity of the ground. I can't get my head around it. I'm trying to reading about it. So the capacity of the ground is going to be what, 1950?
That was the proposed. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously for the next level up, that's the requirement, isn't it? And then it goes up for the National League South. So I just wondered if there was a plan to
Well, look,
because you got to be, I think it's 3,000 for the National League South, which is obviously where we're aiming.
Put it this way, George. Yeah. The original plan was done before I was at the club, and I guess the actual ambition was a little bit different. It was more just the sustainability of a football club, right? But as you know, I'm a little bit more ambitious than that.
More ambitious, more ambitious by nature, of course.
Yeah. I'm just can't help myself. But with regards to that, if we do what we should do this year, then we've got the room with regards to the growth of the football club and the grounds to go higher. So the way of the build is different. So that there'll be like an area behind one of the goals which can go back and back and back. And that idea is to increase that to make sure that the football people hits the requirements that we need. So let's be honest, we're not gonna, if we're, for example, gonna win these leagues, we're not gonna be able to. 1950 isn't enough people. And look, no one's been led on a merry dance. Everyone knows that we expect it to be potentially higher, but that's just right now. We need to make sure that we're approved to build a new stadium, and then we can look at the growth of the capacity over time. If that comes before the build, and we'll look for an amendment. Which, by the way, there's no difference in that up to 5,000. There'd be no room for negotiation or argument. It only becomes an argument when we want a 10,000 or a 15,000 seater, which we can still do on that site.
Thank you. Cheers for that. Yeah, something I've been scratching around about. Cheers for clearing that up.
But saying that, imagine 1950 sellout every week. How amazing that would be.
Absolutely rocking.
Yeah. Even with our current attendances, like that many people and that size stadium would be like a much better atmosphere, wouldn't it? You know, much more enclosed, and then, you know, as you're saying, just keep building as more fans turn up.
No, I come from the music business where we build tours where you kind of play venues that are a little bit below what you could sell to sell out, and it's that feeling of a sold out gig. Yeah. I love to be able. Even though I hated the restrictions on COVID, I did kind of like when we hit the 400 mark and we had to say sold out. It kind of felt like I was back in the music business a bit. But selling out 2,000, selling out 3,000, 5,000, that's the aim, isn't it? We'll get there.
Okay, right. Well, you've basically answered these questions that I've got from the fan forum, so there's no point me answering them.
What were they then?
Oh, they were, you always get well over 200 fans sitting in the main stand. It's a main stand person.
Yeah.
We actually get main stand people wanting to send in questions. What will the seating capacity be? We've spoke about that in the new stadium. Concerned if will it be enough?
Did they say 200 in the main stand?
Always get well over 200.
Oh, massively, yeah. No, the main stadium, stand will be between 700 to 1,000. We'll have enough seats, that's for sure. Not that you lot like sitting anyway.
Well, not now. So, Tony, you're a main stand waller, aren't you?
No, we always stand by it used to be the home dugout, but it's the away dugout now. We just usually stand by that.
Yeah, no, it can't be. You can't no main stand. You don't want to sit in a main stand, do you, Tony? Not at all.
No, right. Never been in the main stand in your life.
That's it. Exactly.
Well,
it's going anti-main stand now. Here we go.
No, I stand in the main stand.
Yeah, well,
it's the best view. It's the best view for me to watch the game.
Your presidential little
suite,
bulletproof suite.
Prawn sandwiches on the side.
I did at the Goldstone many years ago when we sponsored a player. They had to whip round to buy a player. we got invited up into the West Stand.
Cool, blimey.
Yeah,
right.
That was a few years ago, 1970 something.
Blimey. Well. On that note, if we've got nothing else to ask, Mr. Wood.
No, it's very, very clear.
Yeah.
If anyone ever wants to put
some of this to bed.
Good ambition.
Honestly, if anyone ever wants to come up to me, like not just you, Tony, but any supporter.
Yeah.
My time isn't. I'm not a limited person. If someone wants to talk to me about anything, I'll give them my time.
Yeah.
And actually listen. I'm not here to just nod and shake my head and go, yeah. I want to hear what people think.
Yeah.
Positive, negative, whatever it is. I want to hear, and I want to hear what people feel. But number one, at the top of the pile is the success and the growth of Hastings United Football Club. For me, do I care about the residents? I do care, and I do want the residents to be happy. But let's be honest, we're growing at such a size. Do you think the residents are happy with all the cars that are parked around? No, they're not. They kick up in arms. So it's probably better for the residents that there's houses than there is football. So
occasionally they get that way, but that's mainly out the area, up Fry's Way and all that. But around my neck of the woods, we haven't got a problem with it at all.
Even a Russian oligarch's helipad will be next door to you, Tony.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Yeah,
we're going to build a £7.5 million tower where the social club
is. Right, gentlemen. Look, thanks for this.
Yeah, very good, excellent.
No, brilliant,
Billy. In terms of where are we currently? I know we were waiting on a date.
I'll tell you where we are. It's there. Right. So, breaking news. The council on the plan wanted something to be marked out, but didn't tell us until now, right? So they've had it for a year, okay? And now they tell us that before it can be heard, this needs to be done. And if it's not done, then it might have to start again. So we're a little bit like, hold on a minute. It's a bit of a joke here. That's now looks like it's going to be sorted. There's a ruling, like a bit of terminology that means that it can be bypassed as such. And if that's the case, we are pushing our absolute hardest to be heard on the 14th of October.
Okay.
That's it. There's no issue with environmental health, all these other things I've heard. That's all done. If you look on the planning thing, that's done. It's done and dusted. We've dealt with that situation quite amicably, and it's done. We just want to now get an answer. Nobody's club's going. Good, bad, or indifferent. No, I think people know what I'm like. I rather know, and then I can deal with it and work it. But if this doesn't happen, and that's the houses being built in the pilot field as well as the new stadium, if it doesn't happen, then whilst it might be okay for some residents, or it might be okay for some residents up at Tolkien to keep their dog walking site, this town could lose an opportunity to have an incredibly successful football team, bringing in a lot of travel and tourism to this town, and actually giving people something to be proud of. So it's the risk of having a few more chimney pots for success. I'll choose that all day long.
Chaps.
Very good. Excellent.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Tony, who's still here.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Smith has been very quiet. You ain't got any questions for Billy, have you, Adam?
No, I'm all good. I mean, probably just something to add on a personal note and a supporters club note is in my time at the football club and with Billy there, he's always been very approachable. Any question I've wanted to ask him, I've asked him, whether it's an easy one, a hard one, he's never shirked it, like he said. And also on the supporters club note, that's kind of what we're here for. Whether it's me as the chairman or you guys, any of the other committee, if anyone's got a question that they don't necessarily want to ask Billy or ask Darren, come and talk to us and we'll ask it on your behalf.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Well, thank you. Now I've got to go.
Sorry for rabbit now, Chris.
Well, yeah, sorry, you're not sorry, Billy. You love it. You love it, mate. No, absolute pleasure. Please, and please come on again, all of you. All right?
Top lads, thank you.
Well done, Chris.
Cheers, thank you very much.
All right. That's it for another week, Hastings fans. It's been a cracking one on the pitch too. Remember, if you want to be on the fan roundtable or have any feedback, that email is hufcpod@gmail.com or the Twitter, which is @hufcpodcast. As ever, I'm trying to push the YouTube, where this week you get a separate video of the mighty Ben Popes interview. I really had fun doing that one. So get on there and like, comment and share, but please, please, please subscribe. All that's left for me to say is, I've been your host, Chris Laverick. Hope you have a good week and see you at the game.